Quinn Meinerz wants to see the Denver Broncos do what in 2024? In the great words of Sandra Bullock, run the dang ball. Welcome into your Denver Sports Daily for July 23rd. Let's go.
Taking you through your morning headlines, it's Denver Sports Daily with Rachel Vigil.
The Broncos veterans report for training camp today. Football is back in session, everybody. Buckle up. The Denver Broncos gave offensive guard Quinn Meinerz a massive contract last week, and on Monday, Meinerz made it official. He put pen to paper on an $80 million contract extension, and he looked pretty good doing it. I won't lie. Check out the Denver Broncos social channels for a nice fit by Quinn Meinerz. But in a video that has now been deleted by the team, they asked Quinn what he wants to see the team do in 2024, and the answer is run the ball. A lot. He'd like to see the running backs get the ball 30 times a game. That's up from 21 snaps a game last year. So they're running a ball a lot more. We obviously probably saw a little bit more because Russell Wilson often took the ball last year. But going from 21 to 30, that's definitely going to be a little bit of a major upgrade. Plus, who's going to be doing it? Is it going to be Javonte Williams? Is it going to be Samaje Perine? Jaleel McLaughlin? Which running back is going to get that starting gig? We will find out as training camp officially gets underway. Now, let's move on to ESPN's future power ranking, something I've never really paid a whole lot of attention to in my time, but those dropped on Monday, and it's a bit concerning, I won't lie. This is projecting the outlook for every NFL team over the next 3 years, and they have the Broncos at the number 27 spot in the league. Only the Cardinals, the Giants, the Panthers, the Saints, and the Raiders rank lower on the list. Denver's overall roster, let's put that in quotations, checked in at number 31, which is obviously led by Coach Sean Payton, who has their highest mark at 16th. Quarterback came in at 23rd, and the front office was ranked 28th. And they go on to say, this all hinges on Nix. I'm sold on his upside, but there will be questions about whether he can become a top 10 passer in the NFL by playing within the structure of Peyton's offense and this group of playmakers. This comes in from ESPN's Louis Riddick. I don't think the Broncos are good enough on the perimeter yet, but it is up to the front office to provide Nix with more help. This is one of the many reasons Denver is 27th in our ranking. Okay, well now, what about the power rankings for today? What about this season? Well, Bleachers Report's latest NFL power rankings have two familiar teams at the top. No surprise, the Chiefs and the NFC champion 49ers are ranked number 1 and number 2 heading into training camp. The Lions, Texans, and Ravens, they round out the top 5. But what about the bottom 5? This is why we bring it up here in the Mile High City. It's been a long fall from grace for the New England Patriots, obviously from the time Tom Brady has left to where they are now, and they rank 32nd out of the 32 teams. But the Panthers, the Giants, the Broncos, and the Cardinals join them in the basement. So what does this mean? People aren't that high on the Broncos, which that means that if you overachieve a little bit, that's good news. People will give you a little bit more credit. Sean Payton will probably be looking to get that credit, but it's also probably just a little bit of a reality check of, yeah, the Broncos are going to be really stretching to probably make the playoffs this year. But who knows? Maybe Bo Nix will be the starter week 1, and he's going to go out there and he's going to ball and he's going to be the next CJ Stroud. And we're all going to be incredibly lucky to be able to watch him. We don't know yet. But some other NFL news. Packers quarterback Jordan Love says he won't practice with the team until he gets a new contract. It's not a holdout in the traditional sense. Love has reported for Packers training camp, but refuses to participate in any practices until a deal is done. The GM, Brian Gunher, said the team is working really hard on a new deal and hopes Love's holdout will be short. 25-year-old is coming off of a breakout season in his first full year as the starter. Next on the list, Baltimore running backs Derrick Henry is taking his body to the next level. Maintaining his physique in a year is costing him $240,000 annually. Henry gave somewhat of a detailed look at what his day consists of when it came to his diet and nutrition. And he says he doesn't start eating until 4 or 5 p.m., but he mentions that he probably eats another meal around 8 o'clock, 3 chicken breasts, some rice, some broccoli. Then he says he had gluten-free pancakes, scrambled eggs, diced potatoes, home fries, and some steak. Not a big deal at all. And then another one of the Chiefs' big offseason acquisitions will be tested out as a punt returner in training camp. That would be wide receiver Marquise Hollywood Brown, who has never returned a punt at the NFL level or in college at Oklahoma. And despite his lack of special teams experience, Reed says he'll have some reps in training camp. We give everyone a chance back there. Other return options will include McCall Hardman, Kadarius Toney, and first-round pick Xavier Worthy. Interesting. Some definitely interesting stories coming out of the NFL as training camp gets rolling. But now this one's even more interesting. Nate Davis of USA Today thinks the Green Bay Packers will lose to Super Bowl 59 to Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets in New Orleans. Didn't see either of those teams making the Super Bowl, in my personal opinion. But Davis predicts the Packers will go 13-4, win the NFC North, and secure the number 2 seed in the NFC playoffs. In the postseason, Davis has the Packers beating the Detroit Lions in the divisional round and the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC title game, while Rodgers and the Jets beat the Cincinnati Bengals and Kansas City Chiefs to set up the Super Bowl. Two teams I did not expect at all. The storyline would obviously be incredible. Would Aaron Rodgers possibly go on to retire at that point? I don't know. So, I mean, it would be a fun Super Bowl. I wouldn't lie. The stories, like I said, would just be insane. The reporters would have so much to talk about, but I just also can't see anybody, I don't know, beating out Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes to possibly get to the Super Bowl. I think it's those twos, and that's about it for everybody else. On another bit of a sad note, but also something that, I love that the Minnesota Vikings are doing. So do we remember the story I told everybody about rookie Kyrie Jackson? He died in an auto accident earlier this month. Well, on Monday, the Vikings revealed that that they will essentially honor Jackson in the upcoming season. A team will cover a significant portion of the funeral expenses for Jackson, and they will also pay out the remainder of his signing bonus to his estate and honor him with a decal on their helmets. His number 31 will not be worn by any player this season. So, definitely unfortunate news. We talked about that story, a bit of a heartbreaker. Everyone got the ESPN breaking news alert, but it's cool to see the Minnesota Vikings not allowing anybody to wear number 31, but also having a decal on their helmet. He's going to be a rookie this year. Big things on the horizon. So definitely heartbreaking, but cool of the Minnesota Vikings to continue this as well. We will move over to the NBA now because ESPN sources are saying veteran guard Reggie Jackson, who agreed on a contract buyout with the Charlotte Hornets, plans to join the Philadelphia 76ers upon clearing waivers. Woj tweeted this out this morning. Very, very interesting. Reggie Jackson will be on the 76ers with Embiid. Obviously, the history between Embiid and Jokic and all of the drama there. And now he switches sides, all thanks to the Nuggets letting him go. So definitely interesting. Just a little Woj bomb for you on this Tuesday. To the MLB we go because the Colorado Rockies placed German Marquez on the 15-day injury list with right elbow inflammation just after one start following his July 14th return to the rotation following Tommy John surgery last year. Quote unquote, when we came back from the break and got together on Thursday, July 18th for our workout, through that Friday and Saturday, German's arm just didn't bounce back from the start in New England. This comes from Bud Black, who told the Denver area media in the dugout before Monday night's game against the Boston Red Sox. Marquez went 4 innings in his July 14th start at Citi Field, against the New York Mets. He emerged with no decision, yielding 3 earned runs, 5 hits, and 4 walks. The July 14th start was his first start in nearly 15 months. So definitely just a bit of a bummer that he's already back on the injury reserve list. But hopefully we see him out there sooner rather than later. And it was just a small setback before an even greater comeback. I see lots of comments rolling in. Keep them coming. Let's see. Let's go. Good morning. Training camp is here, everybody. Hi, Rachel. Hello. Thank you for hanging out with me. Why did they delete the video? Obviously, you're talking about the Quinn Meinerz video. While I don't have the answer to that, I'm either assuming there was a typo in it. Somebody didn't like how something was portrayed. I've had to delete videos off of company accounts before. So I just wanted everyone to know that that's where we got that information from, and it's no longer available. But if you saw his suit, he looked rather sharp when it came to Quinn Meinerz. Let's see. It's insane how the Broncos are ranked so low. Oh, well, we shock the NFL. I'm totally here to shock the NFL. I'm here to be in everybody's headlines of oh, wow, nobody expected this from this team. That would be really fun for the Broncos this season. That's kind of what Bo Nix is all about. Nobody thought Bo Nix was going to go where he went. Sean Payton has talked very highly on him. And a lot of other analysts have also started to come on and be like, yeah, Bo Nix has that potential to be that next guy. But can he actually do it? And we will learn about Sean Payton and his offense. Does he still have that mojo like he did with Drew Brees? It will be very, very fun. Pay Courtland Sutton. Interesting. Okay. We didn't talk about Courtland Sutton at all, but apparently we want to pay him. Don't pay Courtland Sutton this year. Sorry, I'm going to disagree with you just on this front. Don't pay him this year. He's got to become a 1,000 yard receiver, and then you can go out there and pay him. Otherwise, you have too many guys who are on the same kind of playing field as him that are younger, that will be cheaper, and that you can keep on your roster. So don't pay Courtland Sutton yet. That's my personal opinion. Wait to see what he's able to do this year. And hopefully he's got that 1,000-yard season and then get that big payday. Good morning, Rachel. I think there will be a combination of running backs that run the ball. 100% we will have running back by committee. I promise you that one. I believe it's going to be Javonte Williams, Jaleel McLaughlin, and Audric Estime. I think those are going to be your three main guys out there. I do not think Samaje Perine will make the list, but I, of course, could always be wrong. Javonte Williams is to be rumored in talks, possibly that the Cowboys might be interested in him. Our very own Cecil Lammy had that story. Check out denversports.com, or you can watch yesterday's episode of Orange and Blue today. So that'd be interesting. Javonte Williams on the move to go down to Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Would he fit in there? Probably. Would it be, a little bit interesting? Would he be running back number one? Maybe next to Zeke would be an interesting running back by committee down there. I mean, Samaje Perine would probably be back number one here in the Mile High City. So interesting. We'll see how Javonte ends up looking tomorrow for our first day of practice. Fans are in the building on Friday and Saturday and then on, and the media will be allowed out there tomorrow and Thursday. So we will have all the behind the scenes for you on that one. Let's see. Enjoy the barbecue today. I will. So yes, we have the media barbecue today. I will have a full In the Sports Office vlog, so definitely be on the lookout for that. It's always so much fun. BTW, the Broncos are currently a plus 760 to make the playoffs. Put down some money. Interesting. This offense is not going to be boring. And if you haven't noticed, the passing game isn't about deep passes. Exactly. We're going to see 6-yard, 8-yard passes. Like, we're not going to see any 30, drop bombs from Bo Nix or from Jared Stidham at all. It's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be boring. I think it's going to be a lot of quick passes. We're going to see, the running backs get 3-4 yards, hopefully, and you're just going to slowly move the chains. You're not going to have anything that's absolutely crazy and just a few dimes that are passed down the field. Like, I think that personally is a little bit more boring, but if you're scoring touchdowns and you're winning football games, that's all that really matters. I know I really pissed off James Merrilat yesterday when I said the word boring, but I do think that there is a sense it will be a little bit boring when you're just slowly moving the chains down. So we'll see what ends up happening. I cannot believe football season is here, everybody. But that is going to do it for your Tuesday edition of Denver Sports Daily solo session with me here on Coffee Break right before I head off to the Broncos. Sean Payton will be speaking to the media today, and then we've got our media barbecue as well. So plenty of good stuff. I appreciate you guys so much. Come hang out with me. Bring all of your questions. Let's chit chat about what's going on with the Broncos. Reggie Jackson obviously heading out now to the 76ers. How do we feel about that? There's plenty to get into, and we will see you guys at 12 o'clock. Bye, everybody.